Hello there, I'm Toishi.
And I'm Adiba.
And welcome to E-Academy.
Today we're gonna talk about common mistakes we make while speaking English.
We often tend to get confused between the usage of these two words, by and until. Let's look at these two sentences first, then we will elaborate later on. Alright, so the first sentence, I will be at office by 5 p.m. And the second sentence, I will be at office until 5 p.m. What are the difference between these two sentences? First of all, the meaning is completely different. Why is the meaning different? Only because of the usage of these two words. We often get confused. We think that we mean something, but we actually mean something else. We sometimes think that these two sentences mean the same thing, but they actually don't. Let's look at how. So in this sentence, we can see, I will be at office by 5 p.m. By this word by, this means that mark up a deadline for an action in the future, which means I'm not in the office yet. Whereas until talks about a continuing situation until a specific time, date or situation. So in this sentence, what it means is I am in the office at present. So the first difference is that by talks about the future, whereas until talks about the present. That is the first difference. The second difference would be, so when you're saying I will be at office by 5 p.m., you mean you are not in the office yet. So you will go in the office by 5. This is your deadline. You cannot go at 5:10 or 5:30 or neither at 7. So when you're saying by, you're specifying the time or the date or the situation. And in until, you're saying I will be at office until 5 p.m., which means you're already in the office, but you will leave office after 5.
Action.
Now this word since, it can be used in so many ways, but let's take a look at two examples. It can be used as an expression of time. It can also be used as because. Alright, so the first expression can be from a time in the past until the time in the present. Also the second expression can be from a time in the past until the time in the past. So one will talk about the present, whereas the other one will also talk about the past. Now, let's take a look at some examples. In this example, we can see he has been out of the office since you last called. This means that this sentence is still in the present. So this is indicating this expression. The second one is, when I arrived, I realized that they had been in the meeting since 9 a.m. So both of these are in the past. So this is indicating this expression. Since can also mean because. Let's take a look at some of the examples. Since in terms of because. Since I was not informed, I could not go. So here, this means that we are using this in terms of because. Here we can see another example, which is, since you already have enough flowers, I did not bring more. So here we are also using since as because.
English has a lot of different confusing words, especially words that have like one letter difference, like then and than. People tend to confuse these two words very much. So I'm here to clear your confusions today. So then is either an adjective or an adverb, and than is a conjunction for making the comparisons. So one compares things and one is used, for example, we can see we saw a movie and then went out for dinner. It states afterwards, like afterwards we went for dinner. So we say then. And the second example is, first you need a license and then you can drive. So after you get a license, you can drive. So you say then, not than. Than would not sound right because than is used to compare two things. Now looking at than, we see two examples here. One is James is taller than Frank. So they're comparing the two boys together. So he is taller than Frank. The second example is pizza is better than burgers. So here is another examples where we can say like pizza is better than burgers and not saying then, it won't sound right because this is an adjective and this is conjunctions which is used for comparison.
Action.
So previously we saw two words, then and than, and now we're going to see another set of words which is effect and effect. So we need to keep in mind that these are homonyms. Now, so we're going to talk about effect first, because that comes first. That is an impact. So effect is most commonly used as a verb, and this means to have an impact. So an example here is the tornado is going to affect the whole area. So it is going to affect. It didn't affect yet. Now we're going to say effect, which is most commonly used as a noun, and this means to have. It is a result of an action. So the example is the effects of the tornado has ruined many lives. So this is an after effect, and this is going to happen. This is after it has happened, and this is going to happen. So this is going to affect. So these are the two differences we can see of effect and effect.